You know we're going to do something. He kicked y'all out of that one. You know?
Yes, he did.
That's it on that one.
But I'm gonna tell you, this is how David was so much about the kingdom, about y'all's will. He was beyond the will. He was into y'all. He loved y'all so much. It was like, even though his son Solomon was, son of Solomon, and he had Proverbs and everything, but David, like I said, he was a lyricist. He was the first one to write these love songs. Was David. If you go to Psalms 42, verse 1 and 2, and this is some deep things of how David sought to be with y'all and everything about him. It was like nothing like him. It was like bad. It was like so burning, a yearning to know him, to be with him. Psalm 42, verse 1 and 2. As the hart panteth after the water of the brooks. The hart, I had to look that up, is an animal, it's a deer or a doe that panteth after the water brooks. So panteth my soul after thee, O Yah. What it is, it's like what it's saying right here. It's like a thirsty deer. They're looking for water. That's how David was looking for Yah, was seeking him. A thirsty, dry mouth, like almost about to die deer. And like when he got that water, and he said he was panting, he was longing for it. And like I said, remember, animals, deers are very attentive and they're very shy. But you notice, like when you watch some nature channels, when they start drinking that water, they kind of like be all into the water and not in their areas around them. So that's the way David was taken he was referring to seeking Yah and being all into Yah as a thirsty deer drinking the water, just lapping it all up and soaking it all in. Verse 2, my soul thirsts for Yah, for the living Yah. When shall I come and appear before Yah? What he say? It's almost like love lyrics. He's like, when's the next time can we get together, y'all? It's like the same thing that Adam was the relationship that Adam had with y'all. David had the same thing with y'all. He was like, almost like a courtship. He's like, when can I see you again? When we gonna get together and talk about some things, y'all? I can't wait. It's like I can't wait to be with you again. So, and David was all about the statutes and commandments because he was a commander. But he was more than that. He was about my love for y'all was more than any commandments, any statute. He said, I love y'all so much. I can't be without them. When we going to be together? That's like you said to your loved one. When you date that girl for the first time, like, oh, girl, I can't wait to see you. When we going to get together next time? It's like, oh, man, 24 hours is too long. It's like, I can't wait to see you. Let's go right now. How about if I just drive right now, just sleep in your parking in your driveway, and I can see you like that. That's the way David was saying, y'all. He said, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be with you. I was like, I don't want to go to sleep. I want to wake up. Is it time yet? Like a kid on Christmas. Is it time yet? That's the way we had to be with y'all from the first time that we accept him until now. And we had that fresh like that, then you will get no way for Satan to come in and try to attack you, and try to take away your seed and your word. Because you're always searching for y'all. You're always seeking the kingdom. And then if you're seeking the kingdom with y'all is always moving forward. It's always moving about. Satan will have to catch up with you. So if you don't stop and you're always with y'all and don't stop and let Satan catch you, then you'll have no place. You can't whisper in your ear and talk about, like I said, pimp that and say, you can't whisper, girl, come to me. Like that, like he did with the 1/3 of those angels. For them to listen, they had to take time and stop and listen to Satan. You see them going with this? He had to actually have an audience and stop, and they had to listen to him and gain their attention, just like he did Eve. The attention with Eve was he was subtle. He stopped him. He had to get her attention. He said, look at that shiny ring over there. Look at that bling bling. Look at that fruit over there. And what it said was it looked pleasing to the sight. So she had to notice that. So I don't know what Satan did. He rubbed it on his shoulder and gleaned that he's the angel of light. He had the lights on and everything and looked good. And her mouth was drooling for that fruit. So he had to gain her attention. And that's what Satan does. He got to get your attention. And he does it with something that, your mind, what you lust for or what you like. So your mind is open. He's going to get your attention, whatever you lust and what you lust after. And then he's going to do that deceptive switch and give that question. Oh, did y'all say, you couldn't drink no beer or you couldn't hang out with your boys? Did he say that? Remember, you're a disciple now. You need to go disciple them. So you need to go up in that strip club and tell them guys to come out. But just don't look. Just take one drink and you out. and like that. So that's what I'm saying. He deceives you like that because you don't have the word. He said, do not be yoked with unbelievers. That's why, Yahushua, he spit back scripture at Satan. Satan came with him in scriptures. Yahushua came back with that scripture. He said, no, you ain't going to get me like that, because he knew his word. And what happened? Satan had to leave and come back at an opportune time. Like, curses, I'll get you again when you least expect it. And that's what Satan's going to try to do with us. He's going to try to get us when we least expect it. Like I said, the thing about that water, when the Spirit dropped on me, is the same thing Yahushua did when he was with that woman at the well. It's like Yahushua said, he said, whoever drinks of this water shall never thirst again. And think about it. Once that woman heard that, her eyes got big and he said, oh, where's this water at? I want some of this water like that. That's the same thing that, see, Yahushua did the same thing that Satan did to Eve. He made it so enticing about this water that makes you taste. Where's this water? She was about to leave her 6 or 7 husbands because she wanted this water that I would never thirst again. And that's the way we need to be looking for y'all like that. Where is this water that's so good, that I never thirst again? And I'm thirsty. That's what I'm saying. He said, those who thirst for righteousness. I'm hungry. He said, well, I got some food. I got some bread right here. That's what Yahushua was saying, that you'll never be hungry. You tasting my bread and my flesh. And that the ones that didn't believe, they was like, their mind was not on the kingdom. They was like, how can we eat this man's flesh and drink of his blood? They were so far gone. But this woman right here, she was like, give me that water that I won't thirst again, because you think about it, it wasn't even possible. But she was on the right mind. She was seeking the kingdom. She was looking for y'all. She was looking for a blessing. She was looking for something else. And that's what David was all about, that too. Like I said, David talked with y'all. He was right there. Y'all was right there with him. He was like right there. Say, should we go get him, y'all? Should we go get him? Take him out? All right. No? Okay, I'll quit. He always inquired of y'all. He's like, should I stay here or should I go? Will we win this battle or will we win this battle? And y'all answered everything he wanted to tell him, because he was in the right relationship with y'all and he was seeking him at all times. And like I said, David wasn't all about commandments and precepts and ordinance. He was about that because he was a king, he was a soldier and a leader, and he was faithful, but he was about that relationship. He loved y'all so much that he would say, I would do all this stuff not because you ordered me to. I would do that stuff because I want to please you and I love you. Yeah. That's what he was saying. And another example came to me. It's like when you seek it, y'all, it's like, I don't know if y'all played that game Marco Polo. That game that, the kids be playing, they be in the pool, they say, Marco, and then somebody say, Polo. That's the same thing what we have to do with y'all. When we call out for y'all and say, like, Marco, and y'all says Polo, what he's doing with that game is, you're supposed to go around trying to listen to the voice and try to find out where Polo was coming from. And that's what y'all was doing on us. But he won't do that unless you call out Marco, unless you call out his name. That means you are seeking him. At least you're going to and following his voice. You're seeking him. Just like you go to Jeremiah 29, verse 12 and 13. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 12 and 13. And it talks about seeking y'all. Seeking all mine. Seeking you shall find. Jeremiah 29, verse 12 and 13. And it reads, then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me, and when ye shall search me with all your heart. So what it's saying again, that's that Marco Polo I was telling you about. He said, when you call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. What he's saying is, you got to talk to me. If you can't find me, pray. That's what he's saying. This is what he's saying. Pray. If you can't find me, if you think I left you, pray. And that's what David did. He prayed. That's what these prophets did. Oh, Lord, where are you? And then they started praying. And David was so scared. Lord, if I've done anything that's not in your sight, if I sin against thee, he said, remove it right now, but please don't take your spirit away from me, like he did in Psalms 51. Please don't take your spirit away from me. David was so scared to be without y'all. He said, please don't take your spirit away from me. I messed up. Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go, girl, like them old school songs. Please don't go, girl. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. So that's what he's saying. But y'all saying, if you seek me, if you really want me bad enough, you'll come find me. You'll call out to me. You'll pray to me. You'll come out your box. You'll do something out of the norm that you had never done. That's what y'all want. You gotta do it for me like you do for anybody else. Don't do the same thing you do for your girl or your homeboys, anything like me. I'm special. I made all those. I'm all powerful. I'm all loving. I saved you from yourself. So you got to come and seek me with all your heart. I mean, you got to come up. Don't come with me the same way you sought after your sins, sought after Satan. That game ain't going to work. That's why Satan does the same thing. There's nothing new underneath the sun. Y'all said you got to come out with a new, you got to come up with a new line, a new rap to come get me. That's what he told the children of Israel when they faltered. He said, you got to come out with me a different way. Seek me with your whole heart. You can't come with me like you did your forefathers. You got to come up with me something new. I'm not trying to hear that same old thing that you said before. I'm here, but you got to get my attention. And like I said, it's the same thing I was thinking of. The example is, when you're small or you're a parent, and you notice like a child in the crib, and the parent is right there. They're all happy and anything, but let that parent try to sneak away. And that baby find out what he start doing. He'll look around, not seeing that parent, he'll start crying, start yelling. And if he's not in the crib, he'll start crying, start yelling. He'll start go looking for you. Dad, mama. And that's the way David was with y'all. And that's the way we should be without his presence. If y'all's not here, if I don't have his presence, I want to go seek him to make sure. I feel empty. I feel fear like I'm all alone. Even though he never leave you or forsake you. But when you fearing all alone, that means you're not in the presence. That means you sin. You're not in the will of Yah, because then you go seek him and find him because you want to, because you miss him, and you miss his presence, you miss his power. That's the thing. That's the thing I feel about it. And like I said, this is how we should feel in the presence of Yah. If he's not there, or we're not living right in his will, I'll go seek him. I'll pray, open up my Bible, start reading, start worshiping. Start praising him, anything I could do to get back in the presence. Because, like I said, y'all always puts the emphasis on him first. It's always been about y'all first. He's first. He's like I said, he's the first and the last. Everything is first about him. He said, put me first. His first 4 commandments is about him. About him. You will worship me, you will love me. I'm a jealous. Everything else after that, is some statutes and things, some rules and regulations. But the first 4 commandments is about him and him alone. Don't profane my name. So he said, yeah, you put me first, and then if you put me first and seek me first, then you won't have time for any other things that's not of me. For example, you go to Exodus chapter 13, verse 2.
Verse 2?
Yes, sir. Exodus chapter 13, verse 2. I'll start at verse 1. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever opened the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast is mine. So what y'all saying, I want first of everything. I want first fruit. I want your firstborn. Sanctify unto me, because you owe me at least that much, because I gave you my firstborn, Adam, and then later on, this is prophesizing, like the bishop was saying, prophesizing about the Son of Man, his own son. He said, I'm gonna make me first, because I'm deserving of it. I deserve all the praise, all the glory. And you keep me first, then everything, that means you keeping me first, you are seeking me. You keeping me first, your first fruits, that means you always got me on your mind. Oh, I gotta get the first fruit. Oh, I gotta get my 10%. Oh, these are the feast days. And then all these things were placed by y'all for a reason. The Passover days, the feast days, all the sin offerings. He said, do this first. The way that he had to sprinkle everything, the way he had to burn everything, is to keep your mind focused on the things and the ordinance of y'all, to keep your mind focused on him first. It's always been about him first. And that's why it says, seek ye first the kingdom of Yah. It says, seek ye first. Seek him first. Yes, and the righteousness. And the kingdom, what we know about the kingdom is more than the kingdom is more than the church. It's more than the world. The kingdom is Yah itself. It is his will. It's his ordinance. It is his power. It's everything about Yah. That's his kingdom. It's his governance. His reverence. He's a sovereign ruler. That's his kingdom. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of Yah. That means everything about y'all is governed. That means you have to submit yourself to the power and the ordinance of y'all to be in His presence. That means you got to be focused. Like Yahushua said, I set my eyes forth toward Jerusalem. That means that he had a mission, he had somewhere to go to, because that was his assignment, that was his order, that was his marching order. So he was going that way first. And most people that don't seek the kingdom, they compromise by their beliefs. They compromise something. This is what Satan again does. He makes you compromise yourself if your eyes are not focused on y'all in the kingdom. And we know, like Adam and Eve, they compromised. They compromised the kingdom. Remember, they were in the kingdom. They was in the garden, had everything they needed, but they compromised the relationship and the righteousness of y'all with what? Good for food. It was pleasing to His sight. They gave up eternity for a piece of fruit, a berry, a fruit. We don't even know how big the fruit was. We don't know if it was an apple instead of fruit. It could be a little piece of date for all we know. And they gave it all up for a piece of fruit because it looked good. And they gave it up for wisdom. Like I said before earlier in the sermon, Yahweh was teaching them wisdom in His own time. He was teaching everything about that. But they wanted microwavable. They wanted so fast. And Satan said, I can give it to you. So they said they didn't want to go to the long lesson plan. They wanted the short, the Cliff Notes. You remember those Cliff Notes in college? Y'all didn't want to read the book. Get them Cliff Notes and take the shorter version. And that's what they went for, Satan's Cliff Notes, and look what they got. Same thing happened to King Saul. King Saul compromised his relationship with y'all for the people. He sacrificed that stuff for the people. I didn't kill all those people for my people. I kept them goats and stuff for the people. He was thinking about the people. His pride and vanity got the best of him, just like Satan. His vanity, his pride. So King Saul compromised his relationship, his kingship, and his whole line. It would have been in his line. Well, I don't know if it would have been in his family line forever for Benjamin, but right now he was king, and he was good. But he compromised that over his people to make himself look good, to take care of his homeboys and all that stuff. He compromised that, the kingdom for that. And we know about Judas. Judas compromised his relationship with money. Yeah. He was right, that the kingdom was right beside Judas all the time. But Judas had his mind working on money all the time. He was like everybody else. He thought the Messiah was going to come out of heaven on a white horse with lightning bolts and shoot all the Romans down. And he thought in the money, so he got moved by money. He thought he could buy his way into the kingdom. He thought the kingdom was riches and power, and the Romans had it, and he wanted some of that. So he thought he could earn his place into a position in government. But the government of the kingdom of Yah is different. It's in righteousness and truth and glory. So Judas missed the whole picture, and he got what he paid for. Right. So he compromised his position right there. So he says, seek the righteousness of Yah. We should always be seeking the righteousness of Yah, because no one is righteousness in us. So his righteousness above our own. And we don't know what his righteousness is. We still have to seek. And you have to read the word and know that we are nothing. We are dung. We are filthy rags. There's no one righteous with us. And that means humility, knowing that nothing that we can do can be right. And it has to go by the blood of Yahushua and by the grace of Yah and his righteousness. So his righteousness tops everything. And like I said, it's all about his righteousness. And go to Psalms 119. That's the Psalms that we use here in the service on Shabbat. But I'm not going to go, I'm just going to go to just that one verse, Psalm 119, verse 172. And that one verse says a lot. My tongue shall speak of thy word and all thy commandments, all righteousness. So right there, David, once again, he said, everything you say is right. He said, it don't matter what y'all say. If he said go outside and spin around 3 times butt naked like that, is right. It's righteousness to him, because we are not right. So there's nothing we can do but say is right. So his word is right. His commandments are right. So it's like it said, thou shalt not kill. Sabbath, keep the Sabbath. It's right. You know, we don't understand it. It's right, because we have no say-so no more, because we are filthy. We are born in iniquity. He is righteous. He's true. And he's pure. So ain't nothing we can say, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. That's what I was saying. That's that false doctrine that Satan says. That's what he said to Eve. Did he really say that? Well, Satan was saying, I don't think that's right. Because he just gave us commandments. He said, thou shalt not eat about that tree. Those are commandments. And they were righteous. No matter what the reason was. Is because it was one of y'all said, do it because I said so type of things. He didn't have to explain nothing. I believe he was later. He's going to explain the things to Adam and Eve because he's supposed to be there for eternity. And that's what he's supposed to do with us. We're supposed to be eternity. But since we sin, we have no part. Now everything's a mystery to us. And if we would stay true, we didn't know all the mysteries. Now we have to wait till we get up to heaven to know all the mysteries. So the commandments are righteous. So we can't say that that's what I said. The new believer that comes in, the Satan's gonna come in and tell somebody, gonna tell somebody, oh, you could do this. Oh, you don't have to do that because of their righteousness. That's man's righteousness. They say, oh, you ain't got to celebrate. You ain't got to do this on the Sabbath like that. That's all like that. Now it's like, oh, this righteousness is right. No things will not pass away. He said the earth will pass away. The heavens are going to pass away until one dot, one iota. He said one period was going to stay. One period before it's not even going to change before the earth and the heavens are going to pass away. That means everything's going to stay the same and nothing's going to change because that's Yah. He's right. And that's his character. He don't lie. The man, he won't lie. And like I said, all things will be added onto you. He said all things will be added onto you. This is not a microwave faith. This thing is going to take some time for the rest of your life. He said all things. All things means blessings. All things will be added unto you. Once you receive the word and the gift of salvation, you are inherited into the body of Yahushua. You are a heritage son. So everything that Yahushua's got, that we got power. We're going to get glory too, but in that due time. He said all things will be added unto you. Another thing, all things is a promise again. And we know what a promise is a covenant. But with every covenant, like I talked about Abraham, a covenant is conditional. Again, y'all is like this. If you do this, I'm going to do this. And that's what a covenant is, a promise. It's always conditional. That means you don't have to do it. We always talk about, we don't have to do it. It's free will. You don't have to do it, but if you keep my laws and my statutes and my commandments, I'm going to give you this, all these things. And when you seek me first and all that, that means if you've done everything I done told you to do, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. He did it for David, he did it for Solomon. He told Solomon, he said, because you didn't ask for this, I'm going to give you that and much more, exceedingly. But we know Solomon, he didn't keep the righteous way. And he didn't seek Yah with all his heart because he got his heart turned away with idols and false gods and doing in the groves and burning incense to idols and all the wives. But he's an Abba Father. So Abba Father, like you said, if what father would give his son a stone when they ask for bread? He'll give it to us if we ask. And the second thing, he's a ruler and a king. He's sovereign. So he's got all that under his. His whole earth is his. He's got a cattle on 1,000 hill. And it's all, he said, it's all yours to claim. You reach out and call his holy name. So that's the thing about it. It's all yours. And it's him. Once you receive the inheritance. Receive the inheritance is the salvation of Yahushua. Once you receive that, and then and the orders and the statutes, and to keep his commandments, then you will receive the blessings. And you go to Leviticus 26, chapter 26, verses 3 and 4. We'll close on that right there. Let's close out on a good note. It's all about the blessings. Yeah. Leviticus chapter 26, verses 3 and 4. I'm going to start with chapter 2, verse 2, excuse me. Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Shabbats and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yah. Chapter 26, verses, Leviticus chapter 26, verses 2 through 4. I'll read again. Ye shall keep my Shabbats and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yah. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you the rain in due season, and the land shall yield here increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and the threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in the land safely. What he's saying right here, I will bless you exceedingly abundantly. I'm going to bless you before the due season. I'm going to bless you out of the season. I'm going to put blessing on top of blessings. And that's what Yah does. He doesn't do anything just subpar and average. He has to give the glory. So he said, he's giving up, again, a promise. His bargain is always going to be greater than ours because he's Yah. He said, all you got to do is these few little things. All I want you to do is these few little things. But what you're going to get out of it is you're going to get a blessing. Your fields are going to be on top of fields. You're going to have grapes on top of grapes. You're going to have corn on top of corn. Because that's how I'll bless you. You're going to have so much corn just like the pheasants. Remember, he said he's going to be coming out of your nostrils. That's what he was saying right here. If you keep my commandments, if you trust in me, I'm going to bless you like that. You're going to have manna every day. You're going to have pheasants coming out of your nostrils. Fried chicken every day. Oh, I like that. I love fried chicken every day coming out of my nostrils. Yes, sir. That's because that's who Yah is. And that's only if you seek him with your whole heart and you follow statutes, commandment. So that's what you do. Well, that's why sermon of what's next. When somebody asks you, like, okay, what's next? This is what's next. Seek the kingdom of Yahweh and all his righteousness, and all these things be added unto you. May y'all have blessing and hearing to all those who reading of the word.
Hallelujah.
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 My brother, what's next?
Thank Yahushua again for the word of Désiré that came forth. My. What's next? This thing we said that when you said like the river, panting for the rivers, as a deer in the heart. Our soul should be painted after Yahushua the same way. And I just think about that and I appreciate how you said that because that's always next when we seek Yah. Every time we're doing Yah, we do it in the morning, rise up in the morning, we seek Yah. Then we lay it down, we seek Yah. And that's what's next after you leave, been born again, baptized in his name, filled with his rock of dish. And then you start walking the life, and we walk this life, until the day we die. And every day we should be seeking Yah. Just study, brother. Just study. Thank you for that. All right, TV land. All right, it's good to be back in the house of Yah one more time. Until we meet again tomorrow. And again, since it's been a while, leave the full, but to you TV land too. You're going to see me baptize 2 pastors over there in Burundi. The doors are open again. You hear the message. They are everybody here by one been baptized in Yahushua's name. To you, TV land, if you want to hear the words and repent from your sins, you believe in Yeshua and repent for your sins, you too can be baptized in Yahushua's name. You get my phone number, give me a call, we go over the scriptures some more, and you can make it here or make it there. If I don't flow on the app, then I'm just this, I can get to you too. So, but like I said, y'all will open the doors. You must be baptized to be saved. I was thinking about that scripture, being baptized into Yeshua, the Mashiach. Being baptized, in one family. So, again, I say, Pastor Désiré to all the churches in Burundi. Bishop says salutations. Speak the blessings over the people in the house of Yah. May Yah bless thee, keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee, be gracious to thee. May Yah let this contemplate you, peace in Yahushua's name. May Yah make right on the high place of earth. And feature here to Yaakov, feature here to Yosef, feature here to Abraham, for the mouth of Yah spoken it. For the mouth of Yah spoken in Yahushua's name. Hallelujah.